you're gearing up for a trip to Portugal, I have 5 foods you have to try on your trip, along with recommendations for restaurants in both Lisbon and Porto. I was fortunate to be able to spend an entire month in Portugal creating art around different cities and trying lots of different foods. Since I was there for a month, I had to be very budget friendly and conscious. So after visiting, here are the top foods you don't want to miss, even if you're on a budget. Number 1, we have perhaps the most iconic food you have to try, the pastel de nata. These custard tarts are absolutely out of this world with a flaky pastry crust and a sweet custard filling. You have to make sure to get one, or maybe 2 or 3, when you have the chance. Every morning, I'd start my day off with a cappuccino and a pastel de nata sprinkled with some powdered sugar and cinnamon. My favorite spot to get these was the chain called Mantegueria, and I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. I only took up to AP Spanish and no Portuguese. But they make the pastel de natas in front of you fresh every day, and I'll make a full video on these delicious delicacies. So subscribe if you want to stay updated. There's 2 big pastel de nata shops. There's Pastel de Belém, where they first made this pastry in 1837, and then there is Mantegueria, which is a chain restaurant, but I think I like Mantegueria's more. And these freshly made pastel de natas will cost you around €120 each, which is very affordable for pastries. Here I am in Porto's Cafe Majestic trying their pastel de nata, which was probably the best variation I had on this entire trip. And J.K. Rowling actually wrote part of Harry Potter here.
Pastry's a lot thicker too. You should give it a try. It's really good.
Sardine or sardinhas are a top 2 pick. Now, sardines have been a staple food in Portugal since the Romans settled in Lisbon in 19 BC, so make sure to check out a few different cans of sardines, not only for their taste, but also the beautiful artwork on the tins. The sardines in Portugal are rich and flavorful, and the oil is so delicious. Even if you aren't a huge seafood fan, you can't skip out on a can. In Lisbon, on the touristy Pink Street, we tried out Pesca de Sol, a restaurant I loved because I got to try different varieties of sardines. They dress up your canned picks with fresh oil, and I love this because I got to take pictures of the cans I liked and then buy them for less at the grocery stores later on in the trip. Pairing sardines with crisp bread is amazing, and I wasn't a fan of sardines before this trip, but I definitely am now. If you're a big fan of sandwiches, Portugal has got you covered. Let's move on to the next top 3 food. Along with sardines and bread, opting for sandwiches in Portugal is a way to get some cheap eats in while still enjoying traditional foods. I enjoyed the frugal-friendly bifanas every day, which are traditional Portuguese sandwiches with thinly sliced pork that's marinated in white wine and garlic, wedged between crusty bread rolls. Bifanas were between €2.50 and €5.50, and they were super filling and delicious and often came with a side of potato chips. A non-traditional thing is Portuguese paninis, which are really good, especially with a special kind of Portuguese cheese. We're having the ham and cheese on Portuguese bread today. It looks amazing. This is also a special Portuguese bread that they have. It was super fluffy. I mean, they make paninis here so well. They're crunchy, they're affordable, and they're flavorful. And there are all different kinds of sandwiches that you can try in Portugal. This was one of the best sandwiches I ever had. It's almost like a schnitzel. I wish I got the name. If you know the name of this, please comment below. But I highly recommend sandwiches if you're in Portugal and you're on a bit of a budget, or if you're not, because these are some of the best paninis ever. This is pretty. It's hot too. It looks really big. Yeah, it looks so oily. And after that honest review, you're probably wondering, did you eat any vegetables this entire month? The answer is yes. A minimal amount, but yes. A great way to get more vegetables in on your trip is definitely to try caldo verde. This is a traditional soup full of potatoes, collard greens, onions, and a few slices of sausage with a dash of olive oil. Restaurants all have their own spin on this soup, and it's full of vegetables. I would order it all the time, and I loved it, especially on a budget because salads tend to be a little bit more pricey. I definitely recommend getting this smoky and rich flavored soup. Now for our absolute showstopper number 5. Something you have to try is the Francensinha. Hailing from Porto, the Francensinha is an amazing layered culinary concoction. I went to Cafe Santiago in Porto to try what is rumored to be the best of the best, and let me tell you, it exceeds all expectations.
Go for it.
It's like a walnut sandwich. Riveting this is.
Imagine you have a layered birthday cake, but instead of cake and icing, there are layers of toast, meats, and a casing of cheese all wrapping it together. The Francensinha is made of mortadella, which is an Italian sausage thinly sliced. Then they have Argentinian sausage, linguica sausage, thin beef slices, fried fiambre ham, melted cheese, and toasted bread, all with cheese and then an egg on top. Add some gravy and some fries on the side, and you have the ultimate dish.
Flavors big.
None of these videos ever get up close.
That might be a little too close. Thank you.
The Francensinha is one of my favorite foods, and you can't get it in the States, so make sure to try it when you're in Portugal. Also, for a bonus round, here are some extra foods you should definitely check out. The ice cream and gelato in Portugal is very good.
I got the limão com chocolate and torrone, which is special almonds from Spain, so I'm super excited to try. Whoa. Oh my god, it's really good. The lemon's super strong. Thank you, P.
Yeah.
And if you're being a frugal friend, you can also check out the local markets. They have delicious fresh foods, and you can try a variety of Portuguese snacks as well. I definitely recommend checking it out. We had some great foods and little picnics that we made by ourselves, and it's also cost efficient as well. And oh my goodness, they have such good passion fruit in Portugal. So those are the top 5 foods plus some extras that you should try when you're in Portugal. Please let me know if you're planning for a trip, where you're planning to go, and what you're most excited to eat. I'll see you soon. Have a safe trip and stay sweet.